Okay.
Microphone's on, please, and you're good.
Brian.
David.
Brian.
David.
I call you Brian.
Yeah, it's okay. I've been called worse.
When he said Dave, I'm like, did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
You ready?
I've been called worse.
Come on, the spelling of your last name.
B as in boy, double E, Z as in zebra, H-O-L-D as in dog.
How's that pronounced?
Bees hold, just like it kind of spelled.
Good Irish name.
Yeah, good Irish.
Big
Good
time,
Aryan.
big time.
Oops. Call the Monday, February 6th Park Board meeting to order. Go ahead and stand for the pledge.
Okay, it's gonna take me a minute, hang on.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trying to
That's okay.
roll call.
Okay, hang on, it takes me a minute. We're still recovering from the knee replacement.
Barb,
Present.
Dave,
Present.
and Mike Moffett.
Present. New business, A, election of president and vice president.
And your first name is Brian?
David.
David.
I confused you, sorry.
Thank you. He said David. He said Brian.
I did.
Okay. I make a motion that I nominate David Beeshold to be president of the park board.
Can I second that one? Yes, I'll second that.
Good.
Got a motion by Barb on the floor, a second by me. All in favor, Mr. Beasley being the president, signify with an aye.
Aye.
All opposed with an A. And it's carried 3-0. For vice president.
I would like to nominate Barb Tousley for vice president.
I'll second that. Got a nomination on the floor by Mr. Beasley, second by me. All in favor of Barb as vice president, signify with an aye.
Aye.
And it's carried 3-0. Would you take over?
If you want me to.
Yeah, that's probably appropriate.
Change seats or does it matter?
No.
Better just pass the gavel.
The gavel's right in front. We'll deal with it. All right. Possible award of the Recreational Facility Needs Assessment Study. Now, if I remember correctly from our old Parks Advisory Board, we had met. Barb was not here. Were you here for that meeting? Okay.
I missed one.
Okay. And I just want, we more or less had a consensus on who we thought was the people to go, and that was American Structure Point for both the impact study and for the needs assessment study. So they kind of, B and C kind of rolled together. As we did recommend that to the board, and if I'm not mistaken, Mike, that has not been addressed, correct?
We did not, because we knew you guys were going to start, and
Okay.
we thought that was better, the park boards where that belonged.
Okay, so, I mean, do you want us to then re-discuss this and,
I think we're very comfortable. I think we have the same players here we
Right.
had in the committee, and I thought we addressed that thoroughly. And that, so I would, at the pleasure of the board, whatever
Okay.
you guys prefer, I'm comfortable with.
so then, question?
We had asked people to come in and talk to us. We don't feel we need that anymore.
We did that. See, that's the meeting,
Oh, I
you weren't
did-
here.
Oh, which one did I?
Oh, yeah,
I
we-
did
we
that.
had-
There was a special meeting.
Yeah.
We had a special meeting.
All came in, and, yep.
Yeah,
It was
we, had-
December 27th.
yeah.
Okay.
We had, and you were after, that's the meeting, and we don't have the minutes in front of us because that's the old board, and do we have to deal with that?
Yes, that would be at the next normal park board meeting.
Okay, to address the minutes of tonight and that special.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I think the general consensus after listening to both proposals that were here that night was to kind of go with American Structure Point and their proposal for both the facility and needs assessment. So just to fill you in, Barb, we just felt for a fluid situation, from one going to the other with the same company made more sense than perhaps two different companies that may have different ideas of, from a needs assessment point into a park impact study point. So that's why we wanted to combine them with a company, and two companies presented multiple proposals, one for each, and we felt that American Structure Point was the one that best fit our criteria of what we were looking for, to fit it in the window of time too, because there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, so, and the reason why it's coming back to, the Parks Board now, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, as you know, recommended this to the town council. Well, the town council punted it back after they approved the ordinance reestablishing the Parks Board.
Correct.
So the Parks Board, as you know, has the authority to approve the agreement. The Parks Board has their own budget, which is approved by the council, so it just made more sense, since you guys have now control over the money and stuff like that that's being spent. It just makes sense to come back to the Parks Board.
So do you have any other questions, Barb? Okay. I just want to make sure that you had anything that you possibly may. So then I will entertain a motion to use American Structure Point, and we'll go one for each.
President make a motion?
He's not making it, he's suggesting.
Move it, but
And then we'll,
I'm sorry.
To use American Structure Point as our facility needs assessment study, which would be the first in the process. So I will entertain that motion.
is this not to exceed the 25,000, or is that?
That's how we talked
That's what I
about.
thought.
Yeah, not to exceed the $25,000 fee that they had more or less assessed would be the maximum cost.
So moved. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Do we know when they're going to be able to start this?
Well, we would hope from talking to them when they did propose that, late winter, early spring. Right, Mike?
Yeah, yeah. And,
Sooner rather than later.
yeah.
Right.
hopefully get
Yeah.
right to
I
it.
mean-
We got, I have the, they're gonna, have us do the contracts and stuff like that too, which,
Right.
I'll have, and then, it'll be pretty much right away on both of them.
Right. Well, the needs, obviously, the needs assessment will be something that is 5 years in the waiting, and we're gonna turn right around and have them also do our impact study fee, so that, like I said, for a cohesiveness point of view, they would be able to kind of flow right into that and move our timetable, because there again, I think, if I'm not mistaken, November, right, was kind of how we wanted to get all this kind of wrapped up so that we had something to present
That's right.
and kind of go with moving into, because that opens up the door for grants and opens up the door for other opportunities, so we need to kind of move on that. So I will then entertain a motion to accept,
Before you move on to the next item, if we could, just have if we could kind of amend the motion that you just previously made to also include, to authorize the park superintendent to sign the agreements on behalf of the board.
Okay.
Yeah, just if you could stipulate that as part of your
Okay.
previous motion.
All right, so then we'll go back to B, and I will entertain that same motion that the superintendent, Mike O'Shea, would be able to sign off on that particular contract as written, not to exceed $25,000.
That's just on this one?
On the initial assessment study, and then we'll move on to the, we need someone to actually be the signee, so if you're okay with that.
Yes, so moved. Yeah, do we-
Second.
All right, then we will, all in favor of Mike signing off on that, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so now we'll move to C.
And then include that.
Right, and we'll do the same thing. Because of discussion, we will entertain a motion to use American Structure Point for the park impact fee study, with the superintendent, Mike O'Shea, being able to sign off on that, and that is not to exceed
65.
$65,000. So there's a total in the, around the $80,000 mark or $90,000 mark for everything. And that would come out of the budget for this year. And, there again, to have Mike be able to sign off on that once it's all said to go. So I will entertain that motion.
I'll make the motion, or I'll, so moved.
Second.
All in favor of American Structure Point doing the impact fee with Mike signing off, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, 3-0. Okay. It's going to be difficult to do this without a little bit more input, but item D is establishing a regular meeting date. Now, I think for the town council's sake, it's probably good, could we possibly meet the third week, whatever day we choose, to allow the council to digest any information that we would present to them and still have a few days, you know, like a week or so to be able to actually put it on the agenda and go with it, as opposed to, you know, a short window that you have to kick it all the way to the next month, because I think that was your kind of point,
Yeah,
right, Mike?
just so we can stay within the same month rather than wait another month, basically. And then it'll be 2 months back to us.
Correct. But does that, I mean, to me, we were meeting on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is that a issue if we did it on like the third week Tuesday? Because the council meeting is on the fourth Wednesday,
I
correct?
think, yeah.
I have a problem.
Okay, you have an issue on the third Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
My Lions Club meeting.
Okay.
What were we doing before? We were doing the second?
We were doing the fourth, literally the day before the council meeting.
Fourth Tuesday.
How about
Tuesday's
the,
fine with me.
how about the,
No, that's bad.
how about the third Monday?
Yeah, and other than that day, that's the only meetings I have at night, unfortunately.
Third Monday,
I
that's
don't-
fine. I'd like to think of 5 o'clock.
I know part of, and then the issue we had when we did this on Tuesdays way back when, was making sure we did it on another night of a meeting. So we're not bringing out the IT and town council out on a night that they're
Right.
not
Correct.
here. So we're trying to
First
stack
Wednesday?
on top of
First
another-
Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month? So you want to have something as early as the first, I'm okay with that too, don't matter to me.
Doesn't make any
The
difference to me.
Wednesday, right, Mike, that was yours.
Oh, yeah, you had a conflict on the first Wednesdays, right?
Unless we change the time.
No,
I
that
guess.
is a problem. That's not, the first Wednesday is a problem for me generally. Because that makes, but for me, and I hate to be, like, that means like every Wednesday of the month I'm booked. I mean, I hate to do that. It's not gonna, I'm missing someone else. I'd like not to set it up that way. But the Tuesday or Monday would be better, Monday or Tuesday.
I'm open, it really doesn't matter to me.
I mean, the Monday probably would be the only day. I mean, just looking at the calendar and stuff, the Tuesdays, I think there's 3 meetings
Right.
on the third Tuesday.
Do we have anything else scheduled on Mondays, Jason, that we would be able to piggyback with?
Unless you do the second, I mean.
When does like planning or redevelopment or,
If you turn the monitor on, you can see the current calendar. Middle of the screen, bottom.
there you go.
I'm just gonna look at yours.
Okay. The first Wednesday is Plan Commission along with the third Wednesday. Safety Board and BZA are the third Monday. And
And that second Wednesday's bad, maybe 5 on the second Wednesday?
Before the planning commission?
Oh, let's see, that's a 7. We
That's the
normally
third
would only
Wednesday.
meet at
That's the
5.
third Wednesday.
It's a
well, the third Wednesday might be the Stormwater Board. They still have to choose their,
Third Wednesday?
yeah.
Because normally, the council's been doing study sessions on the second Wednesday anyway, so I'm here.
Well,
anyways.
and the president wants to consider doing that a week beforehand, so we might have that on a Thursday. Because Plan Commission kind of messes us up for that.
If you want to do the first Wednesday, it's fine.
If you did it on that third Monday, the safety board's at 6, right? And then something else at 7, you can pencil in at 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with that. The third Monday?
Okay.
Yeah, just don't be long-winded.
Okay.
Right, go
Just to
quick.
just to let everybody know, the third Monday this week is President's Day.
Yes, and there won't be any meetings on the
I
20th.
just gonna say.
Yeah, well,
I
this
just want
meeting is
everybody
going to take place
know
of
that.
our February meeting anyway.
Okay,
So it would be all the way to the third Monday of March.
March.
which is also
Would
the
be March
20th.
20th.
Right. And then subsequently, every third Monday. Now, I know you had some Monday conflicts. Is that going to work for you?
Monday's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine with
Wednesdays
me.
are bad days.
Barb, Mike,
That's great.
everybody in
You want to do
agreement?
third Mondays? I think I would go that, and you're thinking 5 o'clock.
Joe,
5
Joe,
o'clock works for me.
Joe lives
I like
here
five.
anyway.
There's like a week I don't work, and then, then I go home, we done. I
At
like
Mike's
that.
house and crash.
Exactly.
You can come over to my house afterwards. It's
know.
fine.
Okay, no, so, there again, because there's only 3 of us, and we're expecting potentially 2 more board members, I will entertain a motion to use the third Monday of the month as our regular scheduled meeting time at 5 PM,
So moved.
Starting March.
starting March 20th, right?
Okay, I'll second that.
So all in favor of that signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nays? None? Okay, 3-0.
And we'll have the council briefed on that for
Okay.
our study session.
So that's how it's gonna go from here on out. I just wanted to stay off of Tuesdays for elections and some of, you get some issues there too, so. All right, so it's third Monday.
I'm done by 6, so I can be home.
Yeah. Well, now we have reason to cook.
I had to kick 20 cops out of the safety village to get here.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Item E under new business, possible award of landscaping contract. Now, if I remember correctly, Mike, we did get just the one bid?
Yeah, just the one bid. This did actually go to the council as well on
Okay.
January 25th, and they,
Punted it back.
bring it back over here.
That's
Okay.
right. In addition to that, I believe that you guys had reviewed this and recommended it to the council.
Yes.
This is
Well,
something
we
you guys
were,
had
we
a
were
look at.
hoping, I think if I remember correctly, we were hoping for additional bids of which none came.
That's correct.
Right,
This
yeah.
was the big, and others were sought.
Yeah, and these guys were here last year as
Right,
well. and,
right.
Well, for a while and stuff, and they do a good job.
Yeah. Now, with the addition of the skate park and Founders, and is any of that going to change as far as, hey, we're doing extra work now?
No, that, I mean, everything should be in there, as far as like acreage wise and stuff.
So in your opinion, that
we
bid
should be
is,
good, everything,
that
yeah.
was like 70?
It was, $77,430 for the 29 cuts.
Okay.
I, just so you know too, like budget wise, I had budgeted even for 31 cuts, based on the previous year. So if you went to 31 cuts, it would be April 3rd to November 3rd, basically.
And based on our last meeting and some of the concerns as opposed to Lake of the Hills, have we kind of worked out some of them issues with some of them ponds and?
Well, the ponds would be, it's a little different. I am waiting for our pond maintenance quote.
Okay.
For that, so I'll have that.
But I mean, were we currently cutting around them?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Anywhere there was.
That part we had already been taking
That
care
was
of. It
fine.
was just any additional,
Yeah, with the individual that was here before was just asking about who, taking care of
Correct.
which ponds and stuff.
Correct.
So I'll double check on that, and when I get the quote too from
Okay.
our pond person,
okay.
I'll make sure whatever's owned by the town of St. John.
Yeah, I mean.
I mean, we should be taken care of, obviously, and stuff.
Why,
so.
you're not part of the park. Shouldn't the town be taking care of that?
Well, most of the ponds are within the park.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, if it's within the park, then
Yeah.
yes. So yeah, so this agreement as of right now would be for the $77,430 for the year.
Did you want 29 or 31?
Actually, well, we could let's do 31, which would have been 82,770 per week. Per week, it is $2,670.
That's actually not bad.
No, I don't think so either.
It's reasonable.
So you want to entertain this motion for 31 cuts for the year?
31 cuts, yeah.
Okay. I will entertain a motion for the use of Great Lakes Landscape Management to be our service provider for landscaping services for the park for the tune of 31 cuts for the year at a cost of $82,770 with, there again, the superintendent to be able to sign off on that contract.
Barb Tusley, I will contain that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carries 3-0. Okay. Item F, consider 2023 soccer shots agreement. Mike, do you have anything
Yeah.
to add there?
No, this was actually also at the town council meeting on the 25th that was
Right.
brought back here. Soccer Shots has done a soccer program. This is a contractual program. Within the packet, you'll see some of the dates for the spring and the summer. So we get $10 per player registered, all registrations done, not through here, but through Soccer Shots. So this is just an agreement with them for their season dates.
And are they on our list of people to talk to for our needs assessment as far as expanding for soccer fields and anything like that? Are they a stakeholder? Are they considered a stakeholder?
I don't think they're considered a stakeholder, but it probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, they have been involved with the town for a little bit as far as doing some soccer programming.
Right.
But
Do they run any camps?
no, they don't do leagues or anything like that. There some of the summer. They have summer dates in here that would basically consider like their camp dates and stuff.
Okay.
But when we get to that, yeah, I don't think it'll be a bad idea. That definitely will know some.
Because I noticed from looking at this, they would not use the soccer fields that are along Klein.
I mean, they could.
Okay.
They could.
Because this says just
It's at Civic. Well, they do it
Klein
for
and Civic, right?
Civic Park here because of the playground.
Right.
With families wise, that's why here. Heartland Park because it was just some open space at the time and stuff. But now that this over at Gates Park,
Right.
that could be a spot. Yeah.
Okay.
They definitely could use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I say, as we expand more and more and get more and more youth involved, at some point in time, that will be something that will
Yeah.
be at least asked about, so
Yeah.
might as well.
Yeah. No. Correct.
How, do we know about how many children sign up for that?
Last year, I believe, if I can remember correctly, it just means I would have to look it up again, but somewhere between like 60, 70 kids
That's all?
that enrolled, yeah. And like the weekly programs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we don't actually have a quote-unquote league, correct?
As of right now, no.
And has there ever been, to your knowledge, any interest in?
Yeah. Yes, I think that's
I mean, the only thing I will say is my grandkids live in St. John and play in Dyer because there is not a
no league
league
and stuff like
in
that.
St. John.
Kids that play in Dyer too. It'd be nice to have them
Yeah.
play in Dyer.
Yes, I internally, I have talked about that internally.
Well, I mean, that's kind of why I wanted to ask
Yeah.
about the whole stakeholders thing and see if this is something that they have at least an interest in, no interest at all. Is this something that we should, through our recreation coordinator, if and when that happens, to pursue that or at least look for someone maybe to run or start a youth?
Yeah. Actually, our recreation coordinator is supposed to start Monday.
Okay,
And that is something pending background check. But that is something that I have discussed.
okay,
So
okay.
that's on the radar to make happen. But to have these guys involved and stuff, I don't think it's a bad idea because they want to grow too. They've asked about working, at Freedom Fest or they helped out at the Boo Bash last October.
Okay.
So they would like to be more involved too. So it's there. It's just find the right direction on which way to go.
So I understand that the kids from St. John are going other places now. I was just gonna say, 'cause when I was park commissioner out east, I mean, I lived in a town of 5,000 people. And I had 100 kids in my soccer
Right.
program. I mean, that paid for my whole soccer, my whole year program on it. So I was surprised with such a small.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to ignore it. I mean, I would, but there again, we're in a position to at least offer it up to see if we can get some
Yeah,
interest in maybe someone being a part of starting
yeah.
something like that. Because we have, the Dyer Indoor Facility right down the street here. It's not quite in our town limits, but it's close enough that even somebody like them may be interested in, I have no idea, starting something along the lines.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you do it and see if it works. See if it
Right.
works.
Right. No, well, I mean, at least we can put, so then I will entertain a motion to accept the contract as printed for soccer shots for the calendar year of '23.
So moved.
Second, Barb Tusley.
And that will be for a $10 per registered player coming back to the Parks and Recreation Department. And all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 3-0. Okay, consider 2023 portable restroom service.
Very important.
Yeah, for this one, there's just, I got a couple quotes. Service Sanitation and Premier Porta Potty.
And who have we currently been
Service
using?
Sanitation.
Okay,
And I gave them a list, in your packet too, you'll see a list
Right.
of requests, and then you see the list of the quotes. This is just based on one cleaning per week. Freedom Fest is in here too, Farmers Market's in here too, Civic Park is in here too, and Concert Series would be in here
Stable
too.
and less likely to be pushed over easily?
Well, we have been, installing those concrete pads and the enclosures.
Right.
So they will be, yes.
Okay.
So we're almost done with that as well.
They
But
wouldn't do that, Barb, come on.
There was a porta potty down, actually, I came home one night, and there was a porta potty on my property. And I called the town and I said, I have a porta potty on my property. And they said, where do you live? I live on Lantern Drive. And they said, oh, that's for the street construction. And I went, that's good to know. A couple days later, I come home, come back from work.
and have you dealt with Premier in the past?
What?
I'm talking about, sorry.
I did with they actually helped out with the skate park grand opening.
Okay,
Got a couple out there. That's how I first kind of hooked up with them and then
Okay.
offered them. They are a little more closer. I think they're mainly at Crown Point.
correct.
Service Sanitation's out of Gary, so.
Yeah, I'm familiar with both, so I mean, I just was
They're
wondering.
both
if you-
fine. No, yeah, I mean, I have no issue with either one.
Well, as I see it here, there's a $5,000 difference between one and the other, correct?
Is there a differences in their actual porta potty?
Not really.
No, same stuff. I mean, the quotes I went out for too was for the handicap ADA restrooms more than there's a few standard ones in there, but even the enclosures that we put up, they're all are able to fit for a ADA handicap. Those are larger restrooms.
Correct.
And stuff like that, so.
Any other questions or concerns?
Are these gonna be the same where we had them last year, like at the Babe Ruth field?
Correct.
and-
Yes, everything will be the same. And then going along doing the the enclosures stuff like that kind of go down there. I haven't gotten to the Babe Ruth one yet, but yeah, they would all be in the same spots unless we want to look at other places.
And this does include, obviously, the skate park that we talked about?
Includes the skate park. Yeah.
Okay, because, yeah, that was something that was kind of, I don't want to say overlooked, but wasn't kind of included in the original thought pattern. So, okay.
Yeah.
Barbara, Mike, you got any more concerns or questions about the contract? Anyone you prefer?
No, Mike, do you have any, I mean, the units are of equal,
Oh yeah, they're all yes. Yeah.
of being equal, then
Yeah. Well, I think we'll have.
say $5,000.
Well, I think $5,000 is a significant
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had some issues with the farmer's market last year with services, service sanitation doing some servicing,
Okay.
Okay.
Not that huge issue or
No,
whatnot, but
no.
we had to call them
And I would knock, like I said, I know both, so I would knock either one. But $5,000 to me seems like something that's worth investigating, so I will entertain a motion to use for this year 2023 portable restroom facilitator, Premier Porta Potty, for the amount of $8,505. That includes Farmers Market, Concert Series, Freedom Fest, Civic Park here, and all other park units as needed for the St. John Park system.
Have Mike sign the contract.
And we will have Mike sign that contract also.
So moved.
Second. Trusley.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. 3-0.
The Lions say bite 'em when we vote. I
right.
apologize for that.
And we got some new things. Consider request to purchase. All right, Mike, lead us on that.
So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 things here that I just wanted to put in front of you to look at. Some of these items, well, majority of these items really were stuff that we briefly talked about at the advisory committee meetings that we had. Just kind of going down the line. The first one, picnic tables, 10 picnic tables over at Laramie and Lancer Park. Laramie and Lancer Park were the first 2 parks that we did painting. for the pavilions, bird netting and stuff. So we have, all our picnic tables are wood tables. This would be to start getting rid of the really bad wood tables that we have and replacing them with this heavy-duty recycled material, green top, black base tables. And moving on out, this would be kind of the first round here, and then as do the painting on the other parks. The dog park is next, Homestead Acres is next, and the bird netting for those two are next. And then kind of revisit getting those tables, additional tables from there. But this particular one was, I had a couple quotes here, and Barco Products was the lesser of the two. And then there should be a picture on the back of it. And actually, out of the 10, there would have been 8 6-foot tables, and then there would have been 2 ADA 8-foot tables for that a wheelchair can fit in there too.
Are these going to be site-specific then, Mike?
Well, my initial idea was to do Larimer and Lancer first because those are the ones that were recently painted, basically. They don't have to be.
Well, the reason I asked that is because I know that the town has, when St. John the Evangelist has their festival and stuff like that, I know we generally will lend them some of our tables, but these are a little bit different than our regular picnic tables,
Yeah.
right? I mean, these are like,
Are they as portable?
No.
and that's why I was going, is
Yeah.
these aren't portable. These are kind of like
these are more heavy duty.
site-specific.
They're heavy. I mean, in fact, like I asked about brackets, to hold stuff down because we get picnic tables stacked out on top of each other.
Oh, sure.
Around here and stuff. So, but they don't even. I mean, you could get like those L brackets for these, but they don't even recommend it for these because they're very heavy.
Yeah,
They're
so
not going
I
anywhere.
obviously don't want Public Works moving these.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the idea was the idea, in my opinion, these would pretty much stay there.
Yeah.
At those places, or I can switch them out at any other park, but then they would be there.
It's-
And when the church would ask, I mean, we could still use the wooden tables.
Right, and that's what, I just didn't,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, these aren't the ones that you're gonna be moving anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And do we have an approximate cost?
yeah. For the 10 tables, it was $11,897.64.
Okay,
They're like $1,200, $1,100 a piece.
gotcha. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, on the back.
On the
page,
backside.
On the back page.
That's why I was.
Saving paper.
They're not cheap for either,
No,
These
right.
These are meant for durability.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, they
Yeah.
and the thing, it says they'll last for 50 years, at least.
I'm
I'm
gonna time it.
And is this something you would like to have in place?
I would like to try to, yes, for the spring, yeah, so I was basically just looking to make a motion, basically, for you guys, saying that to go ahead and do the purchasing of the tables. Still have to, we sent some of the requests to purchase stuff over to the clerk's office, the paperwork that they would have to follow and such, but,
But you would like, based on what I see here, is you'd like to get this as a revolving thing where maybe we do 10 a year for the next
Yeah, for
few
next-
years and
yes.
try to basically
Yeah.
slowly
and then
change
maybe
out?
come back at late fall, see if there's a little more money available in the budget wise, let's, pound out another 10 tables,
Okay.
so.
Cool. I will entertain a motion then to purchase tables, these 10 tables for, not park specific at this point, but at this point, we're at least looking at 2 different parks for the amount of $11,897.64 with Mike O'Shea to be able to request to purchase as superintendent these with the clerk's office and sign off on any thing that's necessary.
So moved.
Barb Tusley, second.
Then all in favor of purchasing the picnic tables signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, 3-0. All right, next item, Civic Park batting cage project.
So, go ahead.
No, I just, update us on that,
Yeah.
because that was a late addition.
Yeah, so this was another item, I think we initially talked about it in November and then December within the Park Advisory Committee. And a recommendation, we were making to the town council before this was formed, was to go ahead and do the replacement of the current batting cage structure over at Civic Park, and replace the chain link fence, take it all down and replace it with a net system. So there was 2 prices for it. The initial one we had at our meeting was from Fence Masters, and they were at $53,131. And then earlier today, I sent you an update from SDI, who sent out a quote for $45,897. So,
And we had pretty much, at the last advisory board, had recommended to go the fence master route, correct?
correct. We did. Also,
Like November.
and yeah, into December, and then this was being formed, so
Correct.
everything just got brought back, which is perfectly fine.
No, that's fine. Do we have any discussion about with this new bid being a little bit cheaper to maybe digest it a little bit and kick it to the next month, or are you ready to move on this now? I'm open for any discussion that you might have.
I think we should move with it,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I think we should go with the other one, the SDI. 'Cause that 9,000 is a big difference. And for what I'm seeing, it's the exact same.
It's exact same.
I mean, it's worded the exact same thing. It looks like it's coming from that Beacon
Comparing
Athletics.
apples to
Yes,
apples here.
Yes, they're exactly the same. In fact, the Central Park over in Dyer, I know they had did that too. The SDI, what they had over there. So, same stuff.
Okay.
Save some money.
So that if we're interested in moving forward, then I will entertain a motion to construct the batting cage here at Civic Park with SDI as being our construction manager for the tune of, let's see here, it was $45,897, with Mike being able to sign off on any and all changes that would need to be made, as long as it doesn't exceed that amount, which is a savings of probably, about $8,000 or $9,000 from the other bid.
I'm so moved, I'll make the motion, but I don't know if we need to add the T-ball.
No,
Did
no,
the
yeah.
town already paid for that?
We're good with that. We're fine with that. That was just an update. So it's basically just that third.
So that's already been taken care of, so it's.
Yeah.
So we're
that's
just
fine.
doing the 45,897,
So we're just
okay.
doing the 45,897.
So moved. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Then all in favor of using SDI in this motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Nay? The ayes have it. Motion has passed. Okay. Number 4, Patino Park tree planting.
Number 3 first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Number
good.
3,
You're good.
Select Park Weed and Feed. My mistake.
No, you're good. This is just a weed and feed, one application for all the parks. On the backside, you will see just a breakout of the price. I only have the one from Forever Green. I did reach out to another company too, but they didn't turn in a quote, another landscaping company. But anyway, Forever Green is who the town has used last year and in past years. Before we had just did a weed control. This is for weed and feed for all the parks that you would see in the back. So this would have been for $12,617 for one application. That would cover 114.7 acres.
I know what the Safety Village pays, and this is a good price.
So what about the rest of the applications throughout the year? Do we have to bring it up?
Well, we would have, my idea was just to do one, basically, unless we want to entertain doing more. This would be a one-time shot, basically, that would cover everything.
And is this a new venture? Have we done this in the past, do you know?
We've done a weed control
Only.
only.
Didn't we do it like 2 or 3 times a year though, or?
That was done more, yeah. The weed control, only a weed control is cheaper. I believe last year the town's parks spent, I want to say, $4,500 like on a application of just weed control. So if they would, done it a couple times, then The Civic Park, I think, was done actually with the town itself, so that was done a little bit more. This would have been just a one-time shot with all the parks. Only thing it would not include would have been the Heartland ball fields, because I believe St. John used baseball. They handle
They do
everything
everything inside the
so,
fence, correct.
Yeah.
And this does include the new, like through the preserves and all that? The new bike paths and stuff like that? Are we doing anything with them?
Just that walking, you're talking about that walking?
Yeah,
path?
walking path through the preserves.
No, this, is that that's,
I'm just
I didn't
asking.
think of that. No, this does not include that. This does include just all the parks.
So it's just actual park property, not walking paths, like the walking paths that are past the high-tension wires and stuff like that we're not messing with?
Well, Homestead Acre, those St. John Trail.
Right.
along-
Okay,
Yes,
so
that
we
does
cut
include
that.
That includes, yes, that includes that path,
Okay,
yes. If that's what you're talking about.
right. Are we, no, my question is, do we have to do something with the preserves now that that's mostly in place? And will be there's gonna be additional walking paths in the, the coming?
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, no. Unless we're taking ownership of it, I guess, more than anything else, so, but.
It's just, I wasn't sure who maintained, because I live by the Homestead Acres one, so I see the mowers and of that coming through there all the time, so I know we're taking care of that, so.
Yeah, yes, so this does include that area,
Good.
Homestead Acres, St. John Trail.
Okay.
That's parks property or
Yeah,
town property for
right.
parks, yeah.
No problem.
I just don't know about the one-time weed control. Because I know we were doing it too, like on average. And a couple years ago, it got out of hand. I mean, the weeds were the worst ever. I'm not sure what happened. But I know last year we were talking about doing it a third time, and I don't think we did. But I don't know if one's going to be enough. That's the one.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, I mean, I could, the way I was envisioning this would have been in the spring, right, when everything is actively growing. I could always go back and we can do another one.
Just do a weed.
Yeah,
weed
yes,
control
we could always
maybe
do
in-
more, correct.
Well, how about we do this, Mike? Why don't you, in the meantime, let's defer this to next month, because that'll still give us time.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could at least inquire about what any additional weed application would be. I don't mind doing the weed and feed in the spring, but, if we had, one more or two more, we could at least look and see what that would cost. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So that we,
Yeah, I'll add that on. So I'll bring this back and then with additional weed.
yeah, if you don't mind, we'll defer that till the March. All right, so if we defer that, item 4 is now we're at Patno Park tree planting.
All right, so this one, if you recall back, I think one of the beginning meetings, advisory meeting, I had talked about the Tree City stuff. I am planning an Arbor Day celebration. With the town will be giving away, tree seedlings for Arbor Day. That's one requirement for Tree City, among with some other things and stuff. But I wanted to start reaching out and starting to do a few tree planting projects. This, in a sense, would be the first one. This would have been over at Patno Park for just 10 trees at 2.5 inch caliber plantings. This project basically was going to be for $6,750 for the 10 trees, 2.5 caliber. And on the back there, I kind of give you kind of a mock map of where they would basically be. I would kind of have them somewhat along some of the walking areas. There's a path that kind of goes in between Patno Park and that detention area that's over there. So
And is this our work, or would this company, Landscaper Services of Illinois, actually plant them?
they would plant them. We would get them from them. They would plant them. They also do a initial watering. They did stuff in the gates for us for the playground side. We had bags there. They provided the bag, so they would do everything basically.
Are they guaranteed to?
Normally, I know it doesn't say anything on there, but normally, if one would die, then yes, I would ask for it to to be
Can we
replaced.
have these kind of, I mean, I'm sure they're not small ones, they're 2.5 inch, so.
Yeah.
But I know for Freedom Fest that there was parking over in that area, so I don't know if you want to make sure that we don't, like, have these run over.
Oh, yeah, no, right. I mean,
Good
yeah,
thought.
yeah. I would,
I'm thinking ahead, but I'm like,
The other thing I had on that is, this has in the past been used for football and soccer fields. And from what I'm looking at, you're putting these right in the middle of
well, there's that asphalt path. This is the asphalt path that kind of goes through the middle. No, see the playground? If you look by the playground to the right, there's an asphalt path that goes right through it, right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So it would basically kind of go off that path a little bit.
maybe like closer
I can
to
move
the
them
path.
closer. I can move them closer to the path. I can move on the other side too.
Because I'm saying someday if we want to put, a soccer field in there, because I know that flag football league, before they went to Lake Central,
They
were
played
playing-
over there, yeah.
That's where
No,
they
you're
played.
right. You're right.
I'm just thinking it's summer we could.
Yeah,
put
we,
like
are we
another field.
basically closing that, choking that
Right,
off?
That's,
No, I don't think it does. You know
Yeah.
what type of tree it is, Mike, as well?
I don't have, there'll all be native species, but basically, it would be similar to what the gates where we did tulip trees. We also did some variety of maple trees as well.
did you also check with Sergio on that?
I haven't, not for these ones, not yet. I was going to wait until if we were all in agreement of doing this, and then I'll get the species. That would be Indiana native species and within whatever St. John Town code that we would have
subdivision
in there,
control
subdivision
ordinance,
codes, yeah. So no, I haven't reached out to Sergio yet about that, but I will. So,
Mike or Barb, any more discussion on that? Would you like to move forward?
I think so. I definitely like the idea.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Can we move forward, but with the idea of seeing some sort of amended planting
oh yeah, that's fine.
place so that we could make sure that we're not encroaching on potential use of that as something else down the road?
Yeah, that's fine, and then that way I'll have the species list too.
I mean, we can,
Yeah.
the proposal to grant a motion for that is fine. I'm just talking about as far as, I mean, nothing wrong with your map here, but maybe we need to at least revisit that and,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. So I will entertain a motion then to go to Landscaper Services of Illinois and get 10 2.5 inch trees planted by them for the cost of $6,750 at Patino Park to be determined at a later date.
So moved.
Mike too,
Mike to sign off on that? You want Mike to sign off on everything?
yes.
Well, I thought that was the vice president's job.
I could. I can copy your signature, Mike.
And Mr. O'Shea to sign off on the tree planting contract.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it 3-0. All right. Another one that we did talk about is sand at the volleyball courts. That's the next item up.
I'm sure they're gonna like that.
Good idea.
So, this is another kind of a improvement project here too with the sand court. So we do the volleyball league over there at the youth volleyball league at the sand courts here in the summer. Put a picture in there and it's just low. It's been there for a while, obviously, and stuff like that. And the idea of this was basically to add 3 inches of sand just to help improve the area, raise what we have there, and to make it a little better for the league that we normally have there. The league that's there is normally the seniors, which is the high school age, and then middle school age for like the junior age divisions. I had one price back on this. This was also Landscaper Services of Illinois, and to do 3 inches for 6 courts. Each side basically was $1,225 per side, equaling $14,700 altogether.
And once again, they would do the work. Our
would do the work,
parks
yeah.
or rec guys, we wouldn't have to spread it. We wouldn't have to.
They would do the work, yeah.
How often do they normally do that?
Do the filling or
Yeah.
filling of sand and stuff like that. I think it's more like playground mulch, which you probably should do it every. Maybe not in this case every year, but maybe every few years. Like playground mulch should be more of a annual thing, if not every other year.
Mike, do you know when they might have done that last?
With the sand?
Yeah,
I don't know that we put much sand in there.
okay.
I know it was like a lot of weeds.
I
and
know
everything.
it's kind of like, you
The
know,
bowl.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know with the baseball, but every 3 to 5 years, they have
Put
to
the
put all
sports
new
mix,
soil
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this-
Because, you know, taking effect, the wind's blowing a lot of it away.
Well, and that's
all
what's
day, every
happening.
day.
Yeah, this would definitely help it. I mean, we had, it was, you know, they actually, I think, recommended even 6 inches, but this is a higher price than and stuff like that. So that's why I thought, like, well, let's just start with a 3 just to get up there, and we can do it again.
Well, yeah, we could reevaluate at the end of the year and
Yeah,
see
yeah.
where it's at after we get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely behind. I think we're slowly going to
Yes.
catch up
Yeah.
on that.
Okay. Then, and this is the same people, Mike?
Yes, same people. Yeah, and Illinois Landscapers of Illinois, and these guys also worked on the skate park too, just so you know. So they have some
Okay.
history with the.
So then I will entertain a motion to put 3 more inches of sand on the 6 volleyball courts at Heartland Park to the cost of $14,700 by Landscaper Services of Illinois, with Superintendent O'Shea signing off on that contract.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. The ayes have it, 3-0. All right. American Disability Act, playground mulch.
All right, so similar to the sand stuff, last year, I know the town did mulch, which is a good thing. This is a quote to add 2 more inches. Last year, there was more inches that were put in all together. This is just to keep doing it, basically. I had 2 quotes through here. Cedar Valley was the lower one that I had for $11,352. Cedar Valley did the work last year as well. They would again do the work, everything. We would not have to do anything. But below you'll see all the parks with the playground and the mulch and the approximate square footage that we have. So this would be to do it here in the spring. And then, again, reevaluate it again, see if we need any more, but should be more of an annual thing anyway, in my opinion.
In a rotation process, or are these the
Those are
12
all of them.
parks?
Those
and
are all
ones-
of them, yeah. So these are all of them. So, I mean, we could do rotation if you want to do rotation or not, but that would be for everything, every park that we have that is,
Currently using it?
currently has playground mulch.
Okay.
And that's the 12 listed there?
Yes, the 12 parks, yeah. All the other parks then all have the pour in place.
What kind of mulch is it? Like,
It's
It
playground
says-
mulch.
it's just like ADA mulch. Is it like a
Yeah.
wood or it's?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a wood, but it is an ADA playground mulch, basically certified. So if I think it's ASTM,
Non-toxic and all that?
yeah. And then if somebody would fall, hit their head on it, it's cushiony enough where you're not going to, hopefully, won't get any.
It's not like a rubber or anything
like that. No, it is a certified. This is a certified playground mulch, only used for, or mainly used for playgrounds.
I
Not
just,
like the mulch.
I just didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like,
Not like the mulch you would go to Allsop Nursery and put in your plant bed at home and stuff. So that is non-certified playground mulch.
All right, any other discussion? All right, then I will entertain a motion to use Cedar Valley and replace the 2 inches of mulch at the 12 parks located here for the year of 2023 at a cost of $11,352 to be signed off by Superintendent O'Shea.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. The ayes have it, 3-0. Motion passes. Okay.
Dave, one other thing.
Yes.
Back at the soccer shots, I know we've done myself signing off and everything, which is fine. The soccer shots, we did not do that. The agreement for the soccer shots.
I thought we did. I said something with the $10 coming towards us.
Coming towards us, but not with,
You need to sign off on that?
yes,
You're sure?
with it. I'm fine, perfectly fine.
You want to go all the way back to that?
Well, we can just make an amendment and
Yeah, we'll make an amendment then to item F, under new business, to soccer shots agreement, that Superintendent O'Shea can sign off on that contract Any discussion on that? I will entertain a motion then to do that, to amend that.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Nay. The ayes have it. So we're good there. Okay. There's no one here for public comment. Mike, you didn't receive any type of email for public comment?
No,
Okay, do you have any questions or concerns?
no, all good,
Okay.
all good.
Town manager, any issues, questions, concerns?
No, very well, a very good first meeting. We are still looking for a member of, a non-Republican member to the Park Board. So anyone, please submit a letter of interest to the liaison if they would. And then also, I think there's a school board member from Lake Central, if you want to kind of elaborate on that. I don't want to steal his thunder. But that's all I had this evening.
Okay. Liaison, Mr. Aurelio?
Yes, so speaking about the park board member that would come from the high school, from Lake Central, the district Lake Central, what we need to do, and I'd ask the board to do, is just to craft a letter. We need to send a letter to ask them to appoint that person. So writing the superintendent, so maybe go through the superintendent of schools of Lake Central, asking him to bring that in front of their board where they can place their member.
Mike, if that's something you could kind of put together and send over.
Yeah, I
to
can do that, yeah,
Superintendent.
yeah, I do that tomorrow,
I'd be grateful for
Dr.
that.
LaRocco.
yeah, that's fine.
Also, Dave, you had reached out to me earlier today to kind
Yeah,
of.
I was gonna let these guys comment, then I had that comment. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else, Mike, for now?
That is all I have.
Okay. Barb, do you have anything to add? Mike?
Nope, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Other
this
time.
one. Mike
Got it,
Moffett.
okay.
With him signing off on everything, like, I don't care what, like, doesn't the president and.
Well, that was going to be my question to Councilman Aurelio, and I will elaborate on that a little bit if you don't mind.
No problem.
Okay.
I was just curious.
Okay, obviously, we've decided through the town council, this is going to be a 5-member board at some point in time. We're looking, as the manager has requested, a non-Republican to balance that out so that we can have a diverse board and consequently be open for grants. So if there's anyone that is hearing this or will view this in the next few days or weeks and are interested, please reach out to Superintendent O'Shea and start that process if this is something that you would like to do. And the only other question is, all three of us were part of the Parks Advisory Board, which has now been disbanded. We are now part of the new Parks Board. And Mike, if you could elaborate a little bit on the change from one to the other.
I would be happy to. There's a few major differences between the Park Advisory Board and what you guys are presently, so a park board, a full park board. I think one of the biggest differences, you now have power to bond and actually spend money, and you are the legislative body of the Park District, of the Park Board. So you are the legislative body of the Park District of St. John. Much like the town council is the legislative body of the town. The advisory board, what they serve as, what you guys were doing before, where you would recommend policy to the town council. Now, you make policy. You no longer recommend. You will be the policy makers for the Park District. So, big difference, policy makers. The town council will set the overall budget for the park department, for the park board. So your overall budget is set at the town council level, but below that, you have great discretion to spend, within that budget in the way you see fit. So you will manage that budget and you will decide how that money is spent. You guys will decide that. No more recommendation. You will set policy, and you will set policy on parks, what parks will be built, and what money will be spent on those parks. That will come from this board. So big difference. You guys set policy. What I would ask is within that policy, you get us more sidewalks and bike paths. I'd really appreciate that. Your superintendent is a integral part of this park district, right? So he operates much like the town manager does for the town council. he is your executive, and you are the legislature, right? He is your executive, just like the town manager is our executive, and we're the legislative body. Big difference. So my ask would be, it's so important. So empower your superintendent. Work with him for he'll work collaboratively with all of our town departments. It's important, including not only the clerk treasurer, town council, public works, fire department, police department, but especially, and I think that was lacking in the other board, not the advisory board, but the park board. They were not working with our building and planning commission, our building and planning department. So when you do medium or large size projects, it's extremely important to go get permits. Permits allow us to do inspections. So you can do concrete, asphalt, important things, right? How do you know if you bought 5 inches of concrete that you received 5 inches of concrete unless you have an inspection? So important to use all of that work. We should work like all departments, work collaboratively together, to achieve our goals, and that will allow us to know that our tax dollars are spent wisely, in a wise manner. I think it's so important, your superintendent here, he is gonna be the lead, right? He's gonna work with others, but he is really the lead on everything that goes around in our parks. So all the events, so Easter egg hunts, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, Freedom Fest, Halloween, Booze Fest, Boo Bash, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that, right? That the lead guy is, who's gonna work with others is the superintendent of parks. What goes on in parks, the superintendent of parks is the lead. I think it's important, any kind of organization, any corporate structure that starts with disorganization or a lack of structure breeds disorder, breeds confusion, delay, and overspending. The corporate structure, clarity is I'd ask for that. So, and my last thing I would say, since you guys are the spenders, the policy policy decision makers. What I would ask, maybe a recommendation I would ask for or recommend would be to get Sender, our financial advisors, get them and request that they get with our clerk treasurer. So our clerk treasurer, she holds our data. She collects our data. And the financial advisor brings the advice and recommendations to you. So get them together and have Sender, get them and our financial advisors come here, present a budget, make it clear to everybody here what that money is, where you're going, the roadmap financially where you're going to go. So
And our 5-year plan as well.
that's right, and up
Right.
so that is really different. You guys are now policymakers.
Okay. Has the budget for 2023 been set for parks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we know what that number is and what we're
Right,
working
so we're operating under the 2023 budget right now. So as part of that process, we'll be working with Mike O'Shea when we get into the 2024 fiscal year budget.
Right.
We'll be working with him. Right now, we're finalizing the 5-year plan with Mike based on some of the needs that he's observed based on the recommendations from the Parks Advisory Committee. So, we're moving ahead with that, and we'll have that presented to you guys at some point too.
And I have a breakdown of all the budget too, like in an Excel thing too, so I can send that out to you a little more detail. I do plan on doing more of a report on our normal meetings. They'll kind of list some of the invoices and what's been.
Well, that's
spent
where I was going with
like
this.
that. So,
I would like a little bit more monthly update information so that we know
Yeah.
that we are operating within
Yeah.
our budget. And that,
And you also will be approving an accounts payable voucher docket, so
Gotcha.
you guys will be getting that every month
Okay.
to approve.
Okay.
Your RTPs will come through you to approve anything
Okay.
that's over $4,000, that limit goes to the board.
So it's pretty much, Mike, then to clarify, kind of how it used to be before it changed.
That is exactly right. That's
Okay.
exactly right. Yeah.
And then the only other thing I have, and that would be just a little bit of an update, you kind of hinted at this before, Mike, that we do have someone in mind for a recreation.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I don't need a name, I just,
He's he's scheduled to start Monday,
Okay.
pending background check, which is coming in tomorrow.
Okay.
To fill out that background paperwork, but yes,
You guys coming in tomorrow?
yes,
Okay, good.
yeah, 9 o'clock or 9:30.
all right, could you,
Is he coming here?
Yeah, it's coming here. Yeah,
Okay, good, then we can get all that taken care of.
yeah.
could you then do me a favor then, and for the next meeting, have him available so that we we can meet and we can outline
Yeah. Yeah,
the
no, that's fine.
responsibilities. And, you know, if, there again, if you have that job description and breakdown ahead of time so that we can at least
Oh, yeah.
peruse it.
I'll send it to you, and, I mean, yeah, I'm excited, I know he's excited, so it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good. And then, the other position was the recreation specialist position, which is a part-time position. I did 4 interviews for that as well, so I haven't picked a person yet, but that's the,
Well, I know moving forward with the Freedom Fest, it would be imperative that Barb and this new coordinator get together and at least share some ideas, because unless they've been a part of something like that, it
oh, yeah, it could
it's
be
a little
overwhelming.
a little bit of work. I won't lie. So,
Are these new hires, are they park employees or town employees?
Park employees.
Don't we usually hire them, like as the board? Because I always thought like as a board, like technically, we used to interview them, say what we like about them. Obviously, you were out, not you, the
We weren't here.
no, but I'm just, because it is a little different. I don't know if we're doing it right or wrong. If this, I don't care. I'm just curious. Because I know you said you're doing interviews,
Yeah.
and it's kind of, it always seems like
Yeah.
we always had a part of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything was advertised after the town council approved the
Right,
salary.
and
ordinance
that's why
and all
I
that stuff,
understand that,
So
too.
everything was done, after that, and then,
And then the change happened.
yeah, and then change.
well, that's why I asked to have
Yeah, in the
that
middle
person
of all
present
of this.
at the next meeting,
Yeah.
so that we can at least talk and have any questions that we might have.
Right.
And at least make sure that we're satisfied moving forward, that you're satisfied, we're satisfied, and we have a plan in place.
And then like future would go through us
Yeah.
for personnel through the park, not through the town, obviously. I mean, but
Right, yeah.
Because it's coming out of our budget, correct?
Correct. Yes, yes. it is.
I just find we have hired an extremely responsible person for this position. And that, that person should be able to hire people that they feel that they can work with,
Correct.
which is the most important thing, is having camaraderie of being able to work together as a team. So I would just, be very satisfied with the people who you believe you are
Oh, sure,
satisfied to
sure.
work with.
Yeah, but yeah, no, anyone, yeah, when we hire our next full-time person, a couple months now, right?
That's all I have. Anybody else have anything they care to comment?
No.
Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
so move.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
Couldn't remember my big words.
That's
So
okay.
moved.
Is the mic off now?